I'm the heiress outsiders call, the Sterling family's finest, the one whose future is supposed to stretch brighter than a midtown skybridge made of diamonds. Pretty, decisive, ruthless. Those labels are stitched to me like sequins on a sample-size haute couture gown. Truth is, I'm a shameless face and body addict. I want Julian, the babyface son the Caldwells just yanked back into their glossy world. 5 years younger than me and every inch my type. So I ask my little brother, say you like someone and she doesn't like you back. What do you do? He's inhaling the spicy snack sticks I brought, eyes watering. From what I see in homeroom, girls are addicted to the alpha billionaire trope thing, forced proximity, locked door love, the works. Mom's daily, when will I see grandbabies? Campaign finally breaks me. I pick the fastest route into Julian's life. I torch his startup, then wait for him to come begging. He stands in my corner office at dawn, tie knotted like a noose. Sterling. I don't know how I offended. I cut him off with a raised hand, battling the urge to kiss that trembling mouth right off his face, and flick a black titanium card across the marble. Be mine. Everything I own becomes yours at sunrise. I, Pearl, am the crown jewel groomed since kindergarten. No gender politics. No sibling knife fights, just raw scoreboard. Strongest DNA wins the board seat. I've been the strongest every quarter. My days are a treadmill of IPO roadshows, cap table massages, and charity galas where the champagne costs more per ounce than Tesla stock. I'm the magazine spread titled Life Winner, the girl born on the penthouse terrace overlooking Central Park. My future looks like a road paved with gold bars and conflict-free diamonds. Yet no resume bullet satisfies mom. She still wants a live-in boyfriend turned butler to take care of my logistics. Apparently 20-hour workdays plus parental nagging equals mandatory +1. I'm not asking for grandkids, she sighs. But you can't bottle everything up. People outside, well, they're not exactly hygienic. I'm only protecting you. I don't get it. I fund a new runway of gorgeous broke actors every month, sliding them hush money through my entertainment lawyer. Still, none of them cracks the steel door marked Pearl's actual feelings. Then I spot Julian at the Mets Winter Gala. Power brokers circle me like private jets in a holding pattern, pitching their sons as if I'm a venture round. But my retina locks on the boy tucked into a shadowed banquette, wearing a dated tux that smells of cedar closets and abandonment. His face is pure Michelangelo, angles softening into a mouth that should come with an 18+ content warning. I think that's the gender-fluid fantasy face novel's promise. I'm rich enough to date art. Gossip says the Caldwells just DNA tested him back into the dynasty. But the seat at family dinner still has Hunter's monogram. Across the ballroom I watch Hunter flick olive pits at him. Backwater charity case thinks a garage up puts him in our league. My monthly fun money eclipses his year's revenue. Julian's knuckles bleach white. He doesn't dare answer because both Caldwells stand behind Hunter, scowling at their bio son as if he's the imposter. He looks about to shatter. Dark hair curtaining his eyes while he pushes to leave. He stands, 6'2", shoulders slicing the air, waist narrow enough to hook with one hand. My 5'10" frame fits that blueprint perfectly. I already design our future nightlife in my head. That night I dream him porcelain fragile, naked, tear streaked against my sheets. Babe, they're all mean to me, Dream Jen whispers. I melt, dragging him close, palm skating over hard abs. Nobody touches you while I'm breathing. Next morning I barge into my brother's room, swinging a family-size bag of Waylong. The smell hits and he drops his calculus homework like it's on fire. Goddess big sis. Command me. One stick and I'm your lawyer. Accountant. Getaway driver. I toss the bag. Hypothetical. You're a mega billionaire crushing hard. How do you confess? He rips the plastic. Easy. You go full alpha billionaire trope. Storm the castle. Buy the castle. Lock the castle. I narrow my eyes. You sure? He talks through a mouthful of chili oil. Positive. I'll even swipe my classmates' paperbacks tonight. Case studies for you. One book equals one pack of konjac strips. Sour hot flavor. I transfer him $500 instead. He vows eternal serfdom. During the town car ride I raise the privacy partition and binge a microdrama app titled Our Vows in Chains. 30 minutes later I've dropped 10 grand in coins and phoned my head of content research vertical acquisition in short form romance. I want IP yesterday. That night my brother delivers a crate of alpha billionaire novels. I caffeinate, annotate, highlight like I'm defending a dissertation. By dawn my eyes are raccoon red and my brain has only one setting, possess Julian. But first, the trope demands a public rescue. Evening benefit ends. I peel off in a crimson haute couture gown and storm the Caldwell's glassbox mansion. Hunter greets me with champagne breath. I ignore him and line the family of 3 against their own trophy wall. Pointing at Hunter, you walking collagen deficit. Insult a handsome face again and I'll rearrange yours. Your skull's as hollow as your future funeral. Wheeling on Caldwell. And you too, corporate deadweight favoring a counterfeit son. If your eyeballs are decorative I'll donate them to science. Keep tormenting Julian and I'll unload you from the Sterling jet. mid-flight. They nod, pale and sweating, while security ushers me out with gift baskets. Back seat. My phone rings. Sterling. Julian from Merit is in the lobby asking for you. Heartbeat thundering. I force nonchalance. Send him to my riverside penthouse. Alone. I'm waiting on the white sectional. Red sequined mermaid gown lighting my skin like LED marble. A diamond tennis bracelet bright enough to blind satellites. Swirling a six-figure Bordeaux. Housekeeper Lily ushers him in and ghosts. Julian stands under the gallery lights. Suit too thin for the AC. Smile cracking at the corners. But I catch the flicker of awe. Money well spent on hair makeup styling. His voice still quivers yet holds steady. Sterling. I'm Julian from Merit. Have I don't hear nouns. I see lips. Parted. Rose-glossed. Begging to be bruised by mine. Eyebrows drawn tight. Also kissable. Chest rising faster, handprint territory. My gaze drifts south. Proportions check every box. He tries again. Words stuttering under my laser stare. I need to know why my company's being dismantled. People's mortgages. My coders. I set the glass down. Crystal ringing like a starter pistol. And motion him closer. I cut him off mid-sentence and slid a black titanium card across the table. Be with me. Your startup survives. Revenues skyrocket. And from now on what's mine is yours. Inside. I was cartwheeling. I'm so ridiculously hot it's practically a crime. I'm the alpha billionaire trope in the flesh. Who else could wear the crown like I do? Julian looked like I'd slapped him. Angry color flooded his cheeks. Sterling. I'm not for sale. He spun to leave, so damn proud. So breakable. So beautiful. So big. Exactly the man I, Pearl, am meant to love and protect. I caught his wrist. Yanked. And 20 years of Sonda paid off. He landed flat on the couch. Before he could push up, I leaned down and kissed him hard. Addictive. Bookmark for repeat. Julian wrenched me off. Eyes wide. Trembling. My gloss plus his still glistened on his mouth. I wanted another taste. I channeled every CEO quote Pinterest board and delivered. Stay with me and you'll have the world. Wherever I rank among women, you'll rank that high among men. He rolled off the sofa and half crawled. Half ran for the door, shouting, "You're insane." I followed. Arms folded, savoring the view. I'm not a villain. Scared I'll play you. We'll get the marriage license tomorrow. Monogamy is in the Sterling DNA. Be the power behind my throne. Stay home or build another unicorn. I won't block you. He bolted, shrieking, psycho. I hugged myself, thumb tracing the lip he just abandoned. Oh, Julian, you fascinate me more every second. I fished the worn paperback from under the couch, asterisk he loves her, but she runs, asterisk, and studied the hero's lines like scripture. Pure gold. Every word. Page 188, might as well have been us. I reread the finale, nodded, and promised the universe that happily ever after is ours. The next morning I stepped off the elevator and found Julian pacing the executive lounge. Our eyes met. He stared at the ceiling like it owed him money, tempted to stroll past. I stopped when Lisa whispered, "Caldwell waited 2 hours for you." He clutched a folder like a shield, adorable, kissable. I cleared the room, bolted last night, back at dawn, playing hard to get. Humiliation flashed across his face, but he set the folder on the table. I won't be your fiancé, but if it's Merit you want, sell it to you I will. You'll take better care of it than I ever could. His voice cracked. Rims of his eyes, the tip of his nose, even his lips flamed pink. Screw restraint. I knotted his tie and popped a quick kiss. He recoiled 2 steps, palms over his mouth. "Fine," I said. "I'll back off your company on one condition." Hope sparked. He inched closer, then flinched back. "Anything, except more, that. Half an hour. Let me feel your abs." He froze. "I don't know lies. I mapped the terrain last night. You've got them." His gaze flicked from the buyout papers to his own shirt. Then, shoulders sagging, he shuffled toward me. "Stop," I ordered, killing his flicker of relief. Private office. Couch is comfier. Jealous stares followed us across the bullpen. I locked the door, dropped into my chair, and twirled a finger. He undid buttons like each one weighed a ton. The reveal was worth it. It chiseled abs, sculpted chest. I basically turned into the wolf emoji. He stared at the wall, pale, but when my palms landed on warm skin I felt him shiver. Half an hour later I emerged, cat who ate the cream grin in place. Julian followed, cheeks still burning, until he noticed the envious glares from every male employee. I hooked an arm around him and announced, "If anyone at Merit so much as paper cuts his people." They answered to me. Clear. Lisa escorted him to the VIP elevator. As doors slid shut she sighed, "Sterling hasn't smiled like that in years." "Thank you, Caldwell." Julian. Spreadsheets filled my screen when my door slammed open. I thought Julian had grown a spine and come for round 2. Instead, I found Adrian, childhood friend, Maple neighbor, German expat nuisance. "Pearl, you heartless witch. You've got me, but you're chasing fresh meat." Word travels faster than TikTok. Even overseas grad students knew. "You promised promised to wait. So what if I've extended my PhD 4 times? You ditched me for that pretty boy. Adrian's hot, but he's discount brand compared to Julian. He grabbed his t-shirt hem. I lift for you, star for you, this body is your doing. Every romance needs a white moonlight roadblock. I didn't sign up for the trope. I squeezed my eyes shut. Congratulations. You're jacked. Now cover it before HR files a complaint. 1 beat, 2, 3, and the sniffles started. I looked. Tears dripped off his chin like a broken faucet. I imagined Julian crying that hard and almost smiled. I patted his shoulder. You're gorgeous, but you're not my flavor. My heart already belongs to Julian. Loyalty is a billionaire's aphrodisiac. He sobbed like the heroine of a melodrama. I mentally replayed our history. 5 minutes later I confirmed the truth. There is no history. He'd cried a river by then. Dude, I sighed. At most we shared a bus stop in middle school. Nothing ever happened. We grew up together. Equal houses. Equal futures. The Caldwells are middle class at best. And he wandered the wilderness for years, probably grooming you. Remember Germany? Our semesters abroad? He honked into a tissue. I don't need equal spreadsheets. Adrian, I want who I want. And you begged to tag along to Berlin. I assumed you'd graduate sometime this decade. He gaped like I'd knifed him. I'm the Vance heir. I could deed you the whole family. Where am I lacking compared to him? I smacked my lips, still tasting Julian, and answered, he'd never ask that question. Cue fresh howls. He slapped both hands over his face and bolted out sobbing, his voice kettle shrill, like water at a rolling boil. I'd been swamped, but every single day I told Lisa to deliver Julian 99 long stem roses and to remind him, wait for me. I'll come the second I'm free. On the 10th morning my phone buzzed, his name on the screen. He sounded adorably huffy. Sterling, the flowers are getting out of hand. My office looks like a botanical garden and, well, you're making me. Just hearing that little protesting lilt I could picture the pout. So cute I actually snickered. I cleared my throat. Relax. I'll be there soon. I'll send a crew to clear the overflow. Before I could show up, Julian got ambushed again. Same culprits. His birth parents and the counterfeit little brother. I just stepped into the hallway of his pint-sized startup, basically the square footage of one of Merritt's restroom stalls, when the yelling started. Julian, you honestly think Pearl wants you for real? She's only playing with you. Take a piss and check the mirror. Idiot. And you dare run to her and tattle? Julian, I'm your father. We decide your life. Break it off with Pearl right now and introduce her to your brother. He's way more presentable than you'll ever be. Exactly. Julian, one day Pearl dumps you and no decent woman will touch you. Your brother can keep her hooked. Then the whole family rises. I was half a second from storming in and pile-driving all three when Julian answered. My feelings. My call. Pearl's heart isn't something I can control. A wimpy counterattack. But hey, progress. I'm your father. How dare you talk back? I pushed the door open just in time to see Caldwell's arm swing up, ready to slap Julian's face. Still craving another tongue lashing? One icy sentence and the Caldwell trio froze, trembling like chihuahuas in the snow. I looked Hunter up and down, scowling. No mirror at home. Haven't you at least peed lately? Then at the older Caldwells, what species are you two? You ignore your real son but fawn over the trafficker's kid. Did somebody slam your heads in a door? Caldwell thickened his skin. Sterling, Julian's a nobody. He can't match you. You're babbling. I cut him off. Caldwell doubled down. Sterling, still babbling. I flicked 2 fingers. My bodyguards clamped hands over their mouths and dragged the whole circus out. I must have looked ridiculously heroic right then. Julian had to be head over heels. I arched a brow at him. Baby, falling for me yet? Instead of the hug I expected, I looked up into tear-glazed eyes. His voice was fragile, carried on a draft like a trampled white blossom. Thank you. Pearl. One sniffle and my own heart cracked. Baby, don't cry. You're killing me. Come here. Let me hug it better. Pearl, get your hand out of my pants. He yanked his waistband and leapt 2 meters back. Stay right there. Panic still swirling. He stammered, you're unbearable. 1 minute I'm praising you. The next you're, yep, I still love that bunny rabbit vibe. Crimson eyes, ruby lips, total kiss bait. Now I get why those alpha billionaires can't stop force kissing the heroine. Who could resist? I inched closer. Baby, how about marrying into my family? Look at this company. Without me it would have flatlined weeks ago. The teasing flipped a switch. Fright melted into sorrow and tears dropped like beads. I know I'm useless. But you, he swiped at his eyes, living, breathing heartthrob from a YA melodrama. I cradled his face and landed 2 loud smooches. Okay, my fault. I won't mock you again. Clueless has its charm. Name the dowry. How much would make you happy? Julian shoved me off. Flustered. Who said anything about marrying you? I reasoned. baby. Saying I do's to me is a bargain. I'm the sterling heir. I can't move into your place, only the other way around. My family's clout will rocket your status sky high, and nobody will dare disrespect you again. Plus we're warm and loving. Perfect rehab for kids damaged by lousy parents. He stared like I'd sprouted a second head. No, I sighed. Novels were right. When a guy says no, he's secretly negotiating. I hauled him back. He tumbled onto the sofa and I pinned him, sealing my victory with another kiss, so soft. Satisfied, I straightened my blazer and returned to the office to resume Ice Queen mogul mode. Greenlit the city's biggest retail corridor, inked a 10-digit development deal, and reduced several coffee-spilling junior execs to tears when they hinted they'd gladly be Julian stand-ins. I threw every last one out. Have they looked in a mirror? Nobody pulls off my baby's style. Darling daughter. Mom swept in wearing full sable and diamonds bright enough to blind a kennel. Hands clasped in delight. I land from Paris and your brother tells me you've finally fixated on some boy? She pinched my cheeks. I nearly fainted. Thought you'd become a nun. Me? Dad peeked from behind her. All you've ever cared about was school and numbers. We were half convinced you were gay, but you don't even keep close girlfriends. We were this close to despair. I mentally cataloged my private abs video stash and the fledgling actors I sponsor. Must delete before Julian finds out. Mom spotted the photo on my desk and beamed. So this is the kid. Cute enough. Has his family agreed to the arranged move-in? Should mommy wave cash at them? I remembered every trope. CEO's mother flings a black card so the heroine will scram, pushing the couple closer. I took mom's hand, sweet smile in place. Dearest mother, would you play the villain for your daughter's sake? After hearing the scheme she patted her hair, giggling, acting. What if I end up adoring little Foo? Julian, Mom, you were born for the screen. If Dad hadn't hijacked you, you'd have an Oscar by now. My happiness rests in your manicured hands. Flattered beyond rescue, Mom dashed home to change. She reappeared in custom haute couture, the Sterling family heirloom jewels glittering like a Technicolor poodle. Sweetie. Will 1 million scare him off? I vetoed it instantly. Too much grandeur. Then 10 million? Show serious firepower? I almost shrieked. Mom, he's broke. He might actually cash it. Let's keep it to 100 grand. Mom grimaced. I'm embarrassed writing a check that tiny. My ring alone cost 50 million. Mom, fine. She click-clacked into Julian's office, Himalayan Birkin swinging, and whipped off her sunglasses. Which one of you is Julian? Front and center. Julian stepped out, wary. Hi, I'm Julian. Can I help you? Mom looked him up, looked him down, fighting a grin. I'm Pearl's mother. I assume you know why I'm here. Julian's entire staff is 5 people. 4 are fresh grads who've never seen a live socialite in the wild. They shrank backward. One brave soul FaceTimed me. Sterling, your mom just barged in, looks hostile. Do we call 911 or you? The kid had no clue I was parked downstairs watching on my phone. On screen, Mom slapped a check onto the only desk like a verdict. $100,000. Walk away from my daughter. The Sterlings do not welcome unequal matches. Julian's expression shifted from humiliation to forced endurance, and the sight sent my pulse racing. I didn't hear another word he said. I sprinted straight to their office. I planted my feet and drew a deep breath. Mom, what do you think you're doing? I told you not to come here and hassle him. I stepped in front of Julian, shielding him with my body. Mom froze, startled by my ferocity. Words stuck in her throat. I blinked at her frantically. She caught on at once. Pearl, if you stay with him, you'll regret it. I won't. I shot back, voice steady. He's the one I've chosen, and I'm sticking with him to the end. With that, I grabbed Julian's hand and walked out, leaving Mom standing there alone. Once we were in the car, I tried to soothe him. Don't worry, my life is my call. I like you, and I want to be with you. Period. I rattled on and on while Julian stayed silent. Panic fluttered in my chest. What's wrong? Don't take my mom's words to heart. Julian lifted his gaze to mine, tears brimming. Pearl, do you really like me? I nodded. Pearl, I don't get why someone like you would want me. I was bullied in the orphanage, and even after I finally came home my own parents couldn't stand me. If this is just a whim, let's end it now. I know I'm not good enough for you. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he spoke, breaking my heart. I hurried to wipe them away and pulled him into my arms. This isn't a whim. I truly like you. Always have. More than anyone. Hearing that, Julian leaned against me, resting his head on my shoulder for the first time. Teary-eyed, he whispered, "Thank you, Pearl. No one's ever been this kind to me." I rubbed slow circles on his back. If I'm this good to you, shouldn't you give me a kiss? Just as Julian leaned in, someone knocked on the window. A mildly cute guy stood outside. We both turned. The moment he saw me, his eyes lit up and he stammered, "Oh, Sterling, you haven't visited the set in ages." I stared, blank-faced. Who are you? Julian instantly let go of me, his gaze hollow. I whirled back to him, frantic. No, baby, listen, I swear I don't know him. You're the first and only person I've ever had feelings for. The guy kept babbling. Sterling. It's me, Jade, the stage name you gave me. You said my face looked like polished jade. Julian's expression darkened by the second. I itched to clamp a hand over the idiot's mouth. Pearl, everything you just said was a lie. Your mom's right. I'm not worthy of you. You're the Sterling heiress, future head of the whole family. How dare I even dream? He was practically crumbling. I yanked him into a hug. Baby, don't listen to that nonsense. Look at him, then look at you. He's nowhere near your league. The only one I ever fell for at first sight is you. Always you. I should have known. If my own parents couldn't love me, how could the great Pearl? I was desperate, grabbing at Julian as he tried to step out of the car. Jade wouldn't shut up. Sterling, when you don't show up, we don't even feel like styling ourselves. I spun around and roared, shut your mouth. One more squeak and I'll make sure you never work in this town again. He clamped his lips shut. Julian still pulled free and strode off. I jumped out after him. Jade stood in the way. I kicked him to the pavement. Scram, now. I wanted to hurl the guy into orbit, but I had no time. I had to chase Julian. He marched ahead like some stoic hero while I half ran behind. He hailed a cab. I dove in after him. He stared out the window, silent the whole ride. My nerves frayed. We finally stopped at a place I'd never seen, Maple. And with Julian's resolute back turned to me, the scene screamed tragic romance hero. He slipped inside and tried to slam the door. I wedged myself in. He wouldn't look at me. Voice low. Sterling, if you've come for another laugh, you've had it. I won't delude myself again into thinking you could want someone like me. I cut him off with a kiss. His eyes flew open. He tried to push me away, but I held tight. And he didn't push very hard. Muffled against my lips, he protested, Sterling, please, have some decency. I backed him to the couch and straddled him. His face exploded in crimson. I already told you, you're the only one I've ever wanted. How about we find out right now? He caught my hand as I tugged at his zipper. But, that's something only people sure about marriage should do. Flushed and innocent, my favorite kind of adorable. Exactly. We're getting married eventually. So what if the schedule slides a bit? We'll catch up on paperwork later. Barely audible. He said, Pearl, do you realize what you're saying? This isn't a joke. Please don't, I gaped. I've gone this far, and you still think I'm joking? Your mom, she doesn't want us together. That was a setup. Mom played villain so I could sweep in and rescue the handsome prince. Julian blinked. Huh, stop overthinking and kiss me. I peeled his shirt off in one motion. As expected. The first time was less than comfy. Later, while Julian gently cleaned me up, he asked, anxious, does it hurt? I lay there, expressionless. What do you think? He stammered. It's my first time. So, sorry. He curled against me like a puppy, cheek to cheek, whispering, Pearl, next time I'll be gentler. His eyes begged for praise. I sighed and stroked his hair. Baby, for a first-timer you were amazing. He burrowed into my arms and mumbled, Pearl, what was that guy in the parking lot about? Alarm bells rang in my head. They're kids I used to sponsor. Some were good-looking, so I helped them debut. Then why didn't you say so earlier? You were already nuclear-level mad. I had to defuse you first. Explain later. Julian pressed closer, hugging me tight. Pearl, you're incredible. I squeezed the Caldwell holdings until they were smaller than Julian's startup. They're elders. After all, enough to live on is fine. Our wedding was plotted in a month under my family's turbocharged planning. On the day, we received a 7-figure red envelope, $10 million, from Adrian, with a note for Julian, the day Pearl tires of you, I'll be there, to put Julian at ease. I set Adrian up with 16 different girls. On the 17th match, Adrian finally met his true love and quit the field. 3 months after the ceremony, Julian dissolved his company and settled into the role of stay-home husband, cooking every day. Soon everyone knew, Sterling never books dinner out. Her husband waits for her every night. Someone once asked, Julian calls you non-stop, makes you come home daily? Don't you get sick of it? I rolled my eyes. You wouldn't understand. This is called romance. 2 years later I gave birth to our first daughter. Julian named her Annian Sterling, under his daily, doting guidance. Annian didn't inherit Julian's calm nature. She's a mini-me instead. One day in kindergarten she decided the new boy in the senior class was cute. She blocked his path and declared, hey, be my boyfriend. I'm loaded. Here's mom's black titanium card she gives dad. Stick with me and I'll siphon her money to spoil you.